Hello students, this is Ritvik Dubey, your computer teacher. In this video class, I will discuss about scanner class and its methods part 2. Okay, for the explanation of this concept, I have already created part 1. If you have not watched the part 1, I request all of you to go and watch that video first. Okay, then only you will get the benefit from this video. Okay, so without wasting our time, let's start. So scanner class and its methods part 2. Okay, see scanner versus buffered reader. Okay, scanner versus buffered reader. So in the previous video, in part 1 video, I have explained some differences between scanner and buffered reader. Now here are some other differences. See, in case of buffered reader, to accept any type of value, the non-static read line method is used. And then the input value, which input value? Which the read line method takes in string format. Yes or no? In case of buffered reader, you give any type of value. You give numeric value, you give string value, you give character value, you give any value. But the read line method will take that value in which format? In string format. And then the value will be converted to the required type by using parse XXX methods. When I say parse XXX methods, it means parse byte method, parse short method, parse int method, parse long method, parse float method, parse double method, parse boolean method. Okay. Okay. So in case of buffered reader, we use the readline method. Then for conversion, we use the parse XXX methods and we use the read method to accept character. Now, how to accept character, I will make a separate video for this. In this video class, we will not discuss about how to accept character. Okay, for that, I will make a separate video. Okay, clear now? So in case of buffered reader, you give any type of value. It doesn't care. The readline method doesn't care. It takes that value in a string format. And thus, in case of buffered reader, we need the parse methods. We need the parse XXX methods, means parse byte, parse short, parse int, parse long, parse float, parse double, parse boolean. Okay, clear na? Now let us talk about scanner. In case of scanner, to accept each type value, there is a specific method defined. Okay, for example, if the user is giving a byte type value, so to accept the byte type value, there is a separate method called as next byte. To accept short type value, there is a separate method called as next short. And always remember, in next byte, next short, next int, next long, next float, B is capital, S is capital, I is capital. Okay, why? Because they have followed the naming convention. Okay, if you have not watched the identifier class of mine, then watch that video. Okay, identifiers, rules of naming and identifier, tokens in Java. Clear? In that video, I have clearly demonstrated as well as told you the conventions of naming a method. Okay, that is the reason why B is capital here, S is capital here. If a method name is having more than one word, then the first word, all the characters in the first word will be in lowercase. And from the next word onwards, the first character of each word will be in uppercase. So this is the naming convention. Anyway, so to accept byte type value, we have the method next byte. To accept short type value, we have the method next short. To accept int type value, we have the method next int. To accept long type value, we have the method next long. To accept float type value, we have the method next float. To accept double type value, we have the method next double. To accept boolean type value, we have the method next boolean. And to accept string type value, we have the method next and next line. Okay, now what is the difference between next and next line? The next method is used to take a single word. Suppose, for example, if I will give Ritvik Dubey, so the next method will not take Dubey. It will take the first word only. It will take only Ritvik. Clear? But if I want to give completely Ritvik Dubey, Okay, or Ritvik Dubey is a teacher. So how many words are there? Ritvik Dubey is a teacher. 5 words are there. Suppose if I want that the method should take all the 5 words together, then in such case, I will have to use the next line method. So here I have written, but the next line method is used to take a complete line from the user which consists of multiple words. Okay. Now there is nothing like next char and or next character method. Okay, here also there is nothing like parse char or parse character method. Now, how to take a character value from the user through output, from output screen, that I will discuss afterwards. Okay, clear na? Now listen, let us do it practically. Where is BlueJ? Yes, this one. Okay, let me create a class. Control A, backspace, C. IMPO rt import java dot util dot scanner scanner. Okay, public public class, suppose demo. Public public static void main capital string string array space args. Now let me create the object of scanner. Scanner scanner scn is equal to new scanner system.in. Then system.out.println enter a byte type value. Suppose if I will give the message enter a byte type value, okay, enter a byte type value. So which method will accept the byte type value? Next, capital B YT, next byte method will accept the byte type value. Okay. Now we don't need the parse byte method here. Why? Because next byte method is capable enough to accept a byte type value. There is no requirement of parse method in case of scanner class. Okay. But next byte method is a non-static method of which class? Is scanner class. That is the reason why we have created an object of scanner class here. So I will write here scn dot, okay, object dot that method. So that method will accept a value. Suppose I will store in a variable called num. So what should be the data type? The data type should be byte. Okay, the data type should be byte. Now let me display a message. System dot out dot println the entered value. The entered value is concatenation sign num. This is just an example, okay, just to show you the functionality of next byte method. Okay, what is the requirement of this program? The requirement of this program is just to show you the functionality of next byte method. Okay, compile, no syntax error. Okay, compile, no syntax error. Close, right click, call the main method. See, enter a byte type value. Suppose I have entered 5. Suppose I am entering 45. The entered value is 45. The entered value is 45. Now, you all know that what is the range for byte data type? Tell. What is the range for byte data type? The range for byte data type is minus 128 to 127. Yes or no? Minus 128 to 127. Right? Yes or no? Suppose if I will give the value beyond minus 128. Let me give minus 128. It will accept. Okay, minus 128, it will accept. Yes, the entered value is minus 128. What if I give beyond minus 128? Suppose I'm giving minus 129. I will get exception. Okay, see, input mismatch exception. Why? Because minus 129 is an int type value. The next byte method has the capacity to take values within this range only. What is the range? Minus 128 to 127. Okay, now if I in positive number, see, if in positive number, yes, if as positive number I give 127, it is accepting the entered value is 127. But if I will give 128, I will get exception, input mismatch exception. Okay, input mismatch exception. Is this clear? Okay. Now enter an int type value. Let me rub this. Yes. Suppose if the message is enter a short type value, suppose short type value. Okay. What I will do, in place of next byte, I will write next short, but S should be capital SHORT, next short. What should be the data type of num in this case? SHORT, short. Control K, no syntax error. Control K, no syntax error. Okay, right click, call the main method. Enter a short type value. See, the range for short data type is what? Haven't you remembered? What is the range of value for short data type? Minus 32,768 minus 32,768 to 32,767. This is the range. Okay, let me give a value. Suppose I'm giving minus 32,768, it will accept the value. The entered value is minus 32,768. But if I try to give the value beyond that, suppose if I give minus 32,769, it will give input mismatch exception. Okay, input mismatch exception. Clear na? So we will have to give the values within this range only if we are using scn dot next short method. Okay, if we are using scn dot next short method. What is the range of value? Minus 32,768 to 32,767. Okay. While making the video of type conversion, I have already discussed that with you all. Yes. Yes. See, type conversion. You can see the second slide. Yes. See, the range of values for byte data type is minus 128 to 127. The range of value for short data type is minus 32,768 to 32,767. For int, this is the range. For long, this is the range. For float, this is the range. For double, this is the range. For Boolean, you can give either true or false. For char, you can give the Unicodes from 0 to 65,535. Or you can give the character for character to accept character type value. Okay, I will make a separate video, not today. Yes. Just a second. Let me rub this. Okay. So it is very easy. Now, in order to accept int, we will write next int, scn dot next int. So what should be the data type of num? It should be int. Control K, no syntax error. Now, let me run the program. Okay, right click, main method. Okay. Enter a short type value. No, it should be int. Why this came? Let me check once again. Enter an int type value. Enter an int type value. Control K, no syntax error. Now let me run it. Okay. Where is the output screen? Terminal window. Okay. The terminal window is also called as output screen. Okay. Enter an int type value. Suppose what is the range for int? What is the range for int? Yes. What is the range for int? Minus 2147 48 47 no 48 3647 3647 or 48. You can see here. Where is that table? This. See, minus 214748 3648 minus 214748 3648. Yes, correct. This is correct. Okay. So compile. Yes. Enter an int type value minus 214748 3648. You have entered, the entered value is minus 214748 3648. Okay. Okay. If I give the value beyond this, minus 214748 3649, then we will get input mismatch exception. So this table is very, very important. Okay. Learn the values, this table. Okay. Where is that? This table. This table is very, very important. Okay. Clear, na? So I'm not going to do it for all the data types. You try yourself. Okay. You try yourself. Clear, na? To accept float value, you will write here, enter a float type value, next float and float num. Enter a double type value, you will write next double num. Clear? Okay. Then okay. Now let me show you one thing. Let me rub this. Yes. Now suppose enter an int type value and we are getting input mismatch exception. Okay. Input mismatch exception. Suppose for example, let me compile it, close it. Okay. Close it. Right click over it. Now let me give a string value. Suppose I will give RITWIK. Enter an int type value. The message is enter an int type value. I am giving Ritvik. Okay. So after giving Ritvik, I am getting input mismatch exception. I don't want this exception. I want a message in the output screen itself. Listen, very, very important concept. Suppose if I don't want the exception, I want a proper appropriate message within the output screen only that you have entered a wrong number. You have entered a wrong number. Okay. Or you should enter an int type value. Okay. Suppose if I have to display a message like this. For that purpose, we have some Boolean methods. Okay. For that purpose, we have some Boolean methods, and the Boolean methods are, see, type of data to be taken as input, non-static methods of scanner class, not this one, this one. Type of data to be taken as input and non-static Boolean methods of scanner class to check whether the type of value entered is same as the required type or not. So all these methods are Boolean methods. Why? Because internally their return type is Boolean. These methods either return true or false. Okay. So all these methods are, we can say, manipulative methods or Boolean methods. They return either true or false. Okay. Now what is their functionality? Okay. What are the functionalities of these methods? The functionalities of these methods is to check. Suppose the has next byte method will check whether the entered value is a byte type value or not. Okay, the has next short method will check whether the entered value is a short type value or not. The has next float method will check whether the entered value is a float type value or not. The has next method will check whether the entered value is a single word or not. The has next line method will check whether the entered value is a complete line or not. Clear? Now we will use these methods under the if statement. How? Listen. Suppose enter an int type value. Here I have given the message enter an int type value. Okay. Now before accepting the value, I mean before writing this line, okay, let me use if statement. If within the parenthesis of if, I have already told you that within the parenthesis of if, a Boolean value is required. Okay. If you are in standard 9 class, okay, don't worry, I will explain this concept again when we will start the if else statement. At that time it will be clear. As of now, just listen that within the parenthesis of if, Boolean value is required directly or indirectly. Okay, clear na? Okay, let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. Okay, if now here I can give true. Let me cut it and paste within the block of if only. Okay, control K, no syntax error. So within the parenthesis of if, we can give true directly, or we can write any expression which gives Boolean value. Suppose 10 is less than 20. Control K, we are getting no syntax error. Why? Because 10 less than 20, here relational operator will give true or false. It will give true or false, yes or no. And the third thing is that from here we can call the method whose return type is Boolean. And thus, from within the parenthesis of if, I can call the has next methods. Which has next methods? These methods. Why? Because the return type of all these methods is Boolean. These methods will return true or false. Okay, so they are used for checking purpose. So the has next byte method will check whether the entered value is a byte type value or not. If it is a byte type value, it will give true. If it is not of byte type, it will give false. आया समझ में? ठीक है, तो has next method अगर वो जो यूजर वैल्यू दे रहा है अगर वो बाइट टाइप का होगा तो क्या देगा? ये ट्रू देगा. और अगर वो बाइट टाइप का वैल्यू नहीं होगा तो क्या देगा? फॉल्स देगा. ठीक है, देखो, if scn dot has next int, because we are accepting the int value na. So in this case we have to use has next int. If scn dot has next int, then it will accept the int type value. I mean the block of if will be executed. The block of if will be executed. Okay, or else if here, suppose if the entered value is not of int type, then this method will give false. Okay, so in such case, the else block will be executed. System.out.println, you have entered a wrong value. Okay. Control K, no syntax error. Let me minimize the font. See, enter int type value. If I give RITWI here, see, I am getting the message you have entered a wrong value. I am not getting the exception. यहाँ पे मैं exception नहीं पा रहा हूँ जो पहले पा रहा था. Input mismatch exception आ रहा था. अभी वो input mismatch exception नहीं आ रहा है. रीजन क्या है? मैं चेक कर ले रहा हूँ. ठीक है, रीजन क्या है? रीजन ये है कि मैं यहाँ पे चेक कर ले रहा हूँ. Here you can see if scn dot has next int. ठीक है, if scn dot has next int. अब कुछ बच्चों का यहाँ पे क्या डाउट आएगा? देखो सर, पहले ये एग्जीक्यूट करेगा कि ये एग्जीक्यूट करेगा? अगर पहले ये एग्जीक्यूट करेगा तो इसको पता कैसे चलेगा? क्योंकि अभी तक तो ये एग्जीक्यूट किया नहीं है. ये वाला लाइन ध्यान से समझो. आप ये सोच सकते हो कि पहले ये स्टेटमेंट आया और उसके अंदर में ये स्टेटमेंट आया, है ना? तो ये स्टेटमेंट अभी तक एग्जीक्यूट किया ही नहीं है, तो यूजर अभी तक वैल्यू दिया ही नहीं है ना। तो यूजर अभी तक वैल्यू जब दिया ही नहीं, तो इसको पता कैसे चल रहा है कि वो इंट वैल्यू है या नहीं। तो माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, यहाँ पे इंटरनली फंक्शनैलिटी थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है। भले ही ये प्रोग्राम में आपको दिख रहा है कि ये ऊपर है और ये नीचे लिखा हुआ है, तो आपको ऐसा फील हो रहा है कि पहले ये एग्जीक्यूट होगा फिर उसके बाद ये एग्जीक्यूट होगा, ऐसा नहीं है। ये साइमल्टेनियसली एक साथ ही एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है, लेकिन अगर कंपैरेटिवली देखा जाए तो पहले ये स्टेटमेंट एग्जीक्यूट हो। ठीक है, मतलब सबसे पहले ये एग्जीक्यूट होने की वजह से यूजर वैल्यू दिया और ये रिसीव किया। रिसीव करने के बाद ये एन के नम के अंदर इनिशियलाइज नहीं हो रहा है। वो जो वैल्यू आया, ठीक है, यूजर मान लो दिया ऋत्विक, तो ऋत्विक यहां पे ये लेकर के आया, लेकिन उसको ये इनिशियलाइज नहीं किया। वो जो लेकर के आया उसी समय हैज नेक्स्ट इंट मेथड चेकिंग कर लिया कि क्या वो इंट वैल्यू है। अगर नहीं है तो यहां पे फॉल्स आ गया उसी समय। इसका मतलब पहले यहां से लेकर के यहां तक एग्जीक्यूट हुआ और फिर उसके बाद कंट्रोल चला गया यहां पर चेक हो रहा है कि वो इंट टाइप वैल्यू है या नहीं है। अगर होता तो आगे की प्रक्रिया चलती, वो वैल्यू नम में स्टोर होता, नम डिस्प्ले होता। लेकिन ऋत्विक ऋत्विक तो इंटीजर वैल्यू नहीं, यहाँ पे नेक्स्ट इंट मेथड क्या है, ऋत्विक ले आया। ठीक है, ऋत्विक लाया ही नहीं, वहीं पे पता चल जा रहा है, इंटरनली वहीं पे पता चल जा रहा है। और उसके बाद फिर ये क्या कर रहा है, यहाँ पे फॉल्स दे रहा है। अगर फॉल्स दे रहा है तो एल्स वाला पार्ट एग्जीक्यूट हो, और एल्स वाला पार्ट अगर एग्जीक्यूट हुआ तो यहाँ पे आउटपुट क्या आएगा, यू हैव एंटर्ड अ रॉन्ग वैल्यू, यू हैव एंटर्ड अ रॉन्ग वैल्यू। क्लियर? ओके। Suppose if I will type here enter a long type value, so what should be the method, has next capital Long. Okay, remember in has next long n is capital and L is capital. Okay, now here I will write the data type long and here I will type next long. Okay, clear? Or control K, no syntax error. If I give any integer value, then it's okay. Suppose for example, if I'm giving 45897, yes, the entered value is 45897. But if I give a double value, for example 45.2, I will get an error message. I mean, you have entered a wrong value. You have entered a wrong value. Why? Because the message was enter a long value. Why have I written here an? Let me remove an. Yes, enter a long type value. Is this clear? Okay, so what is happening when you are entering? See, I will explain you. See, so the message is coming enter a long type value. Okay, now scn dot next long, because of this method, the execution is paused. It is waiting for your input. Okay, JVM is waiting for your input because of this method only, next long. ठीक है, अब आप क्या दे रहे हो, 45.5 दे रहे हो। तो 45.5 जैसे दिए उसी समय हैज नेक्स्ट लॉन्ग मेथड चेक कर रहा है क्या वैल्यू दिया जा रहा है। जैसे वो वैल्यू जा रहा है, ठीक है, जैसे वो जा ही रहा है, बीच में ही हैज नेक्स्ट लॉन्ग मेथड उसको पकड़ लिया और चेक किया कि वो क्या लॉन्ग वैल्यू है, लॉन्ग वैल्यू नहीं है। तो यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएगा, यहाँ पे फॉल्स आ जाएगा, फॉल्स आ जाएगा। अगर फॉल्स आ जाएगा तो इफ का जो ब्लॉक है ये एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करेगा। क्या एग्जीक्यूट करेगा, एल्स वाला ब्लॉक एग्जीक्यूट करेगा। यू हैव एंटर्ड अ रॉन्ग वैल्यू, यू हैव एंटर्ड अ रॉन्ग वैल्यू। आया समझ में? इसका मतलब क्या है, 45.5 इस तक आ ही नहीं रहा, ये बीच में ही चेकिंग हो जा रहा है। हैज नेक्स्ट लॉन्ग मेथड बीच में ही इसमें आने के पहले ही वो चेक कर ले रहा है 45.5 क्या लॉन्ग वैल्यू है या नहीं। तो नहीं है तो फॉल्स आएगा, अगर होता तो यहाँ पे ट्रू आता, ट्रू आता तो एल्स एग्जीक्यूट नहीं होता, इफ वाला एग्जीक्यूट होता। क्लियर? ओके, सो दिस इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ स्कैनर क्लास। ठीक है, हम लोग चेक कर सकते हैं, यूजर से वैल्यू लेते समय चेक कर सकते हैं कि हमारा डिजायर टाइप का वैल्यू दिया जा रहा है कि नहीं। अगर नहीं दिया जा रहा है तो एक्सेप्शन आने से अच्छा है कि यूजर को एक मैसेज चला जाए, यू हैव एंटर्ड अ रॉन्ग वैल्यू। क्लियर? ओके, द थिंग इज क्लियर और नॉट? इट इज वेरी सिंपल। ओके, Now let me rub this. Suppose, for example, enter a word. Let me write here enter a word. Now for checking the word, what is the method? What is the method for checking word? Has next. Okay, has next method. Now I will write here has next method. scn dot has next. Okay. Now let me change the data type of num string string. Okay, string num is equal to scn dot next. Scn dot next. The entered word is, now in place of value I will write the entered word is num. The entered word is num. Okay. No syntax error. Close. Right click, main method. Okay. Suppose I am a boy. The entered word is I. Here we are not getting any error. Why we are not getting any error? Because the next method is taking only the first word. Even if you are giving the complete sentence, but the next method is accepting only the first word. Clear? It is ignoring the rest of the words. So here in this case, we will not get any error message. We will get the entered word is I. Okay. So this is an exception. Take this as your note. Okay. Now, what if I give integer value? Suppose I am giving 458. Will I get any error? No, I will not get any error. The entered word is 458. Why? What is the reason? See, we are giving 458. We are thinking that we are giving an integer value, but the next method is considering it as a string value. Okay. It is considering 458 as a string value. Which method? The next method. Okay. The next method is considering what? 458, this value as a string value, and it is accepting. So here we are not getting any error. Okay, clear na? So these are the exceptions you should practice. Let me rub this. Now similar is the case with next line also. See, has next, enter a sentence. Okay, now enter a sentence. SENTENC, enter a sentence. Has next, LINE, has next line. Here also next line. See, scn dot next line is a different method. Has next line is a different method. Next line method will take a string value, and has next line method will check whether the entered value is a string value or not. Okay. Now it will take everything as a string. So there is no use of has next line. Okay. Even then I am telling you. Okay. Compile, no syntax error. See, enter a sentence. If I will enter a word only, HOME, home, it will accept the entered word is home, or the entered sentence is home. So let me change this message. The entered sentence, SENTENC, entered sentence. Control K, no syntax error. Enter a sentence. I am a boy. The entered sentence is I am a boy. If you will give only a single word hello, then also it will accept. The entered sentence is hello, because it requires a string value. Now, if you give any numeric value, suppose 4, 5, 8, 9, 5, 6, it will accept, because it will take it as a string. 4, 5, 8, 9, 7, 6, 5. Is this clear? Okay. Then sir, what is the use of using this has next line method? Okay, don't use in examination. Okay, because it is accepting any kind of value. Okay, the has next line method is accepting any kind of value. Whatever you give, it will take it as a string value. Okay, so in programming, we never use has next method and has next line method. Okay, but yes, we check in order to check byte whether the entered value is a byte of value. These methods are important. Okay, these methods are important. Has next byte, has next short, has next int, has next long, has next float, has next double, has next boolean. Clear? Okay. Now, sir, then what is the importance of has next and has next line? I will tell. When I will start the file chapter, in that video, I will tell you how we can read the data from a file. At that time, this is required. Okay, at that time, this is required. Okay, not now. From the output screen, if the user is giving any kind of value, okay, numeric, non-numeric, any kind, the has next method and has next line method is taking them as a string values. Okay, so as of now, just forget has next and has next line. Okay, I will tell in future what is their use, but as of now, just remember and practice from has next byte to has next boolean. Okay, and there is nothing like has next char and has next character. How to read character value, I will make a separate video for that. Okay, is this clear? So I want you all to practice all these concepts, okay, thoroughly. So thank you so much for watching this video. Bye-bye.